jumped up and bit me on the butt.
Yeah. And we're live.
Oh,
Why is there a box of munchies sitting here?
I don't know. It just showed up.
Because.
Does anybody know where it came from? Because I don't.
I don't know. Give me the
I don't know.
M&Ms.
That's the poison M&Ms. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Incoming.
Oh, you
Oh,
brought
okay.
these. Okay.
Thank you.
If you would like to keep us above water, because
Oh, look, I'm sorry.
okay, like keep us above water, donate here. Yeah, it's going to be raining again.
But I
Please,
got my yard mowed.
you did. I didn't. Not yet. Please, God, buy your coffee from King Harv's, so that way they'll send us more coffee. Because this stuff's good. It's just really good coffee, and they need to keep sending us free coffee.
And
So
Jana's taking it via IV.
Yeah.
It will be for a while.
that is
There we go.
that is one knackered lady. I'm here to tell you.
I slept for 14 hours yesterday.
We're still too wet to move. Right. I went out with a machete to hit some of the taller yard lettuce today, and I'm squishing through water up to my ankles. And this is not good.
Yeah. Oh, knee high. Oh, RK, y'all will be like Ian. You'll need the
I'm getting a mid thigh.
the brush hog.
I'm getting a mid thigh.
Speaking of that, can Johan come mow my yard?
He was there last week, believe it or not.
Oh, it doesn't look like it.
I know. He went not too long before he took off on his trip.
Oh, that's good, Mikado. Coffee is always good. And RK says they have a scythe. And I'm betting that RK knows how to use it.
If I didn't have a 50-something-year-old back, I'd take the scythe, but I have a 50-something-year-old back. I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
Boy, they were. Blankenfort has her drinking coffee again. You're welcome.
Yeah.
If King Harv's would make a chicory blend, I would probably. I don't know. The geisha's pretty good. If they had a chicory coffee blend, I would. That would definitely be in the rotation.
Yeah.
The Bali is blissful.
The Tanzania pea berry is glorious.
Yeah.
I have transitioned to drinking my coffee black in the mornings.
Yay, finally.
Counting calories. So no more cream for me. But I was doing our usual like generic Aldi brand that Sanford likes. And that was super acid. So
Yeah.
I asked him to switch it up, and I had blanket for it today and was drinking it just like water. It was easy
Yeah.
going down.
I'll bring you some of the Tanzanian over.
Yeah.
That's even easier than the.
I have
It's a
some
real
Bali.
mild. It's a real mild blend.
Yeah. So I had some chicory. Yeah, that works too. I just drink chicory. I don't have to worry about it.
He drinks a chicory blend. I've seen what he drinks.
Yeah.
Same thing my dad used to drink.
I wonder if I can grow chicory here. I'll have to look into that.
And Courtney says, try the Bali, Cedar.
Yes.
I haven't tried the Bali yet. The geisha's fantastic. The blanket fork's really good.
Smooth and beautiful. So.
So is the Tanzanian.
The Bali I have is whole bean, so
Yeah.
I think he did blanket for it last night so he didn't wake me up grinding coffee.
Yeah.
Because Sanford sets my coffee up for me.
I'll bring over a bag of the Tanzanian Ziploc bag because it's really good coffee.
Yeah, I'm planning on once I'm getting close to using up what I've got, I'm definitely making another big order. So I got like 3 pounds last time, so
Yeah.
it'll take me a while.
Have you looked in it?
I know, but
Okay.
that's blanket for coffee. Of course, I could just come over here and work more often and drink coffee.
Will work for coffee. Yes.
You pay rent here. You get coffee.
And Jonna may be tired, but she is still on a roll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Donna is tired but spicy.
I think spicy.
Spicy.
I think tired brings out the spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just look. You want tired and cranky because tired and cranky is. I'm just tired, so
So
tired.
we have Rita and Jonna in the background. So any drive-by snark is on those two.
Been a while. You guys have been without drive-by snark for
Yeah.
like 3 weeks.
Right?
So
Yeah, I don't do drive-by snarking.
Yeah, Padre, I'm like you. I don't get coffee. I don't work.
I have to. Seriously. My I am generally diagnosed with ADD, attention deficit disorder, primarily inattention. I
Never noticed that.
and there's the snark. Basically I can daydream. I will daydream at the drop of a hat. And I can't focus on administrative stuff, so I need a mild stimulant. I used to when I was at the sheriff, when they stuck me on admin detail at the sheriff's office. In order to do the morning paperwork, I would literally kill an entire pot of coffee just so I could do read the memos and do the administrative.
I would come in and get a refill and have to make another friggin' pot of coffee.
Hey, it would.
Asshole.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, we missed the drive-bys.
We've missed the drive-bys. Weird as that sounds.
Yeah, Okay, not going to make a comment.
Oh, so where was I? Squirrels.
I'm now getting drive-by phone calls from somebody else who has been bitten by a writing bug.
Oh darn.
Okay.
That's
And
funny.
she called and chews my ass.
It's funny how we complain about writing. Our stories bite us in the butt. But then we like it when people join us in our misery.
Yes, yes. Misery loves company.
might
That's the saying.
might have said just that thing to her.
I've been told lay off the caffeine till the end of the month.
Who's that?
Oh,
Courtney.
Oh, no.
Courtney's staying away till the end of the month, right?
Oh no, she gets back Saturday.
oh.
Oh, girl.
I hear there's going to
RK,
be
what the
wine
hell did
involved.
you do that you've got to replace the front door? And it costs more than your first 3 cars. Ouch.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yikes.
I should coffee. The day they tell me to lay off coffee, it's going to be a bad day.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of RK, I'm sorry if I jumped the gun with publicizing Rodney's book covers, but I was just so gosh darn excited about that.
Oh, has to be wide enough for walkers and wheelchairs.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so
That's an
that's
important-
not just a door.
That's a special door, yeah.
Yeah, that's a reframe job.
Yeah. Oh, good. You've got most of the withdrawals over.
It's not the withdrawals, it's not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, staring at an Excel spreadsheet and then off slaying giant ants. It's in my head. It's
Yeah, nobody's having a good month with cars, Raptor. Trust me.
Mm.
My car is fine. Of course, I got a vacation, so.
Yeah. They were all brand new cars many decades ago. Yeah, I know that refrain.
While my son was visiting my daughter's car key snapped off the ignition.
Oh.
And it's one of the new
That's handy.
Volkswagen Bugs, so it's a $300 key.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Anywho, in good news,
There is some.
the lovely Minions and Chuck from PubShare went to battle with Amazon, and the soft cover of the latest postcards is finally live.
Fantafly postcards.
The soft we had hardcover and we had a digital out. It's
Now we have the soft
now we
cover.
have soft cover because Amazon was being stupid about the soft cover.
So what was happening is that somebody at Amazon, who English was their 3rd or 4th language most likely, did not understand that a title that says postcards in it does not necessarily mean that it is postcards.
Yeah.
I figured it was something like that.
We gave them a new subtitle that it was a collection of stories, and they took it, no problems.
Well, we
Yeah.
had to get through you guys had to wade through 2 bot responses and then begging us to find a real person.
Chuck sent 10 emails.
10 emails, Chuck. I mean, Chuck from PubShare
Yeah.
and Courtney and Cedar were like on this for a week. So,
Oh, and speaking of Chuck from PubShare, just because it connected in my mind with something else, we've been asked multiple times if Raconteur Press is going to be doing audiobook
Oh,
versions
yes.
of. We are pursuing the options, exploring options. That's probably the better way to put that.
Looking to see if it's a thing, maybe.
Well, the thing is that because PubShare handles our accounting for us, we are not going to try and jump into the Audible marketplace because then we would have to do the accounting.
No.
We're not doing that.
No.
And Differ says, supposed to take the cat to the vet. Cat was here until 1 p.m. Appointment at 3. Cat has vanished.
Poof.
Magical how they do that.
Yeah. Why does that not surprise me?
VET.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to take a quick moment to talk up Pecan coming up here in the DFW Metroplex after Imaginarium.
In September 14th.
It's in September. There are some interesting prospective guests. I think it's going to be a really good con.
Chuck Gannon's guest of honor.
Chuck Gannon's guest on.
Jane Linskull.
Jane
Jay
Linskull.
Barnson.
Jeff
Yeah.
Gleason, who's fabulous.
And Jeff Greason. I said Jay Barnson and I was thinking Jeff Greason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many J's.
So
Jason.
there's going to be some really great guests. I think if you're in the Midwest, for Pecan, does military rate include retired military? That's a question for the Pecan.
It should, Greg.
We'll find out.
We'll get an answer to that.
So also, when you've got, we haven't got her all the way in yet, but 2 Moms of the Apocalypse are heavily involved in running this.
And the third one
the
is
third
sitting
one
out
just got
because
drug in this morning when she was forced to fill out a I will be a panelist form.
Is that why I got an email saying I filled out a form?
Yes, you did.
Yes,
you
you
filled out
did.
a form. But Courtney's head of programming, so you know the programming is going to be really good and
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
So, and everybody she knows, looking pointedly at Jim, will be on panels whether they want to be or not.
So when you say you have multiple personalities, you really mean it.
Yep.
No, but the point is, we had such a good
Yeah, I
time at FenCon last year.
I got a ping this morning and said, "Thank you for filling out your request to be a panelist." I'm going, I don't ever. Oh, lovely minions. You're welcome.
No, the point is, I mean, it seems like a really good opportunity for us to all get together and have the kind of fun we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a new convention, so we can set the tone, right?
I'm all about having a really fun convention.
We should have a really fun convention. We'll just grab all of us gang and go there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Jesse, stand out front, look pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all nodding at me.
So
And I'm
anyway,
glad Ian has to do that, and I don't.
They're all nodding at me. Anyway, so Pecan.
you just haven't gotten all the way up to the top of the list yet. Jim.
And I will never be at the top of the list. Thank you very much.
Challenge accepted.
No, he's our example of a perfect gentleman. So
That's bad.
I know.
Pecan. Let's make this a really good first ever. This is Pecan number 1. And it'll only ever be the first one once. Let's make it a really, really good first one. Okay, guys?
That made no sense.
What?
It can only be the first one once.
There can only be the first ever one once. You only have a first time. You can't have a second first time.
And
Right? So let's make this first one for the record books.
all right, that I'll agree with. The first one. Jeez.
Whoa, that one snuck up on me.
Yeah, thank you.
Ooh. Everybody sees a sinus. It's mine. Till I get back here.
Oh, Differ. That sucks. The mother fluffer has a break of dawn appointment on Monday because I can't find the damn. Ow.
My mower just broke another belt, so it's blanket fort time. All right, we'll take that.
Yeah.
So my child has evidently gone to the wrong Buc-ee's. He's supposed to meet someone at Buc-ee's, and he's gone to the wrong Buc-ee's. So he's going to figure out which is the right
Oh
Buc-ee's.
no! Trying to get the beaver nuggets.
They could be in the same Buc-ee's and miss each other for 3 hours.
Well, it's not that. He knows the Buc-ee's he's going to, and he said, I pulled in, and this doesn't look right.
Oh, joy.
Your son has become texting a lot faster than you thought he would.
Yeah.
That's a texting response.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so
Hey, Anna, good to see you.
remembering
Welcome
that,
to the Nut House.
yeah, right.
Yes.
Your Honor, there I was. Book one of the Spurgle Chronicles closes the end of the month. We need Spurgle stories.
I
Well,
have
actually,
one. I just
actually,
have to
we need
yeah.
stories about adjudication where Spiegel's somewhere involved. Spurgle somewhere involved.
Yeah, Joel, that's true. The 7th First Annual Ig Nobel Prizes Awards.
Are we only up to 7 on the Ig Nobles?
Yeah.
I thought they've been going on for longer than that.
I thought they had two.
They are a lot
That's
of
the
fun.
7th First Annual. Yeah.
7th First Annual.
Well, yeah, the Ig Nobel Awards.
The Nobles. So what am I? Okay, so Space Moggies is coming along well. When's it close?
End of June.
End of June. We need more stories. Send them.
The answer is always send more stories
Send them.
because if necessary, we'll open a second anthology. It might be in 2024. But
So also we need pinup noir stories. Send them. If you got it, send them.
wait,
Pecan sign up page. Jonna is will be putting that up in North Texas Troublemaker
Yeah.
shortly.
Yeah, it will.
So we need let's see, Space Moggies. Book one of the Spurgle Chronicles. We need stories and send pinup stories. What else we got?
I think we need a gym rant. So
Yeah.
I'm sure
Don't
it's
tell
not
me.
different.
Don't tell me.
Did you see the article about the F-15 that wound up in the little pond?
What?
Oh yeah. Freaking idiot Air Force again.
No, tell us what you really think.
If you don't have a rat on deck, I'm going to be.
Oh, I do.
There we go.
It's just a question of which one,
Exactly.
because we have the new disinformation panel,
Oh, Lord.
and now we have the misinformation, which suffice to say is pure, unadulterated bullshit.
And we're off.
The misinformation panel has a list of red flag phrases. Let that sink in. The media won't report this. Make it go viral. Do your own research, and there are no coincidences. Among
Do your
others.
own research is a red flag phrase.
Yes.
So somebody saying do your own research sends up warning flags.
Yes. That whatever they're saying is misinformation. And oh, by the way, on the disinformation, that came out announced at a military function last week. And supposedly was going to go after quote unquote state actors. But guess who they're partnering with? GEC.
Ugh. Seriously?
Yes. Guess who GEC has been hammering for the last 2 years? You and me.
GEC is what again for the cheap seats?
The global, I want to say Global Engagement Center.
Yes.
They're the ones that have been
They were up to their eyeballs in the Twitter stuff.
Twitter, Facebook, Google with banning and shadow banning people.
Speaking of, I ran a little test yesterday that was very enlightening.
Yeah. I still haven't seen it, by the way.
I saw it after I saw the post saying that I didn't see it before the post saying, hey, it got suppressed.
So I put up 3 posts, including one that was nothing but a link to my blog. I went over my blog and checked, and I had engagement with all 3 posts, including traffic to my blog. Then I posted a something about the Durham report being out
Yeah.
and a link to my blog. 0 traffic to my blog from that, and nobody, I mean, one person could see it.
Yeah. I still haven't seen it.
Now it popped up for me after I had seen the other one. When I didn't interact with that because I was busy and just kind of scanned Facebook.
Yeah. The other good one is to tell you how deeply in bed with the administration DOD currently is.
I don't think in bed is the word you're looking for. Underneath, under the dining room table, might be the word you're looking for.
No, that's the vice president's job. I think I got him with
No killing Ian.
Be right back.
anyway.
You've done damage.
Good job, Jim.
Anyway, payback.
That's fair. Totally fair.
Austin came out and said that if the debt ceiling does not get raised, the military is not going to get paid. The veterans are not going to get paid.
Amazing how Congress will still get paid, right?
Mm.
But there's nothing mentioned about entitlements not getting paid. Sorry.
I'll swap back with you.
I'm good. You're ringing.
What did he say? Who was not getting?
I'm not ringing.
Who not getting paid?
The military, the veterans, and disability payments.
Yeah, I heard that, but who is not? Who did they not mention would not be paid?
The entitlements.
Oh,
Gee, what a fucking surprise.
so they'll still be able to provide the smartphones for the people, for our new guests coming across the border.
Yep, smartphones for the illegals, EBT, all that will continue. Yeah, Padre, I know why you're not commenting.
Yep.
However, there is a, shall we say, an interesting group of threads going on in some of the military circles right now.
I can just imagine.
Yeah.
No comment.
And if that happens, it's going to, I will say, go rodeo a lot quicker than anybody thought.
Well, I've been worried things are going to go
He can't talk right now.
Pepsi Max down the air tube instead of the water tube's a bad thing.
You would think that inhaling carbonation would be
I
a
forgot where I
gas,
was
so it
going.
wouldn't be that painful.
I forgot where I was going. Disregard.
It's a gas.
Squalls.
Yes, it's a gas.
Oh,
It's-
so it's close to.
We've been seeing this slow incremental creep for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, longer than I've been alive. Quite possibly longer than you've been alive.
I can remember the start of it.
Well, because I'm thinking that I know
So
that,
how was Pompeii?
I know that it
between the
accelerated.
lines.
I know that it accelerated post the First World War.
Yeah.
Because of the toll that took.
Well played, Cedar.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it comes down to the acceleration
Mhm.
being around the time of Vietnam,
Right.
because all the card-carrying commies, the leftists, the hippies refused to serve.
And they took shelter in the educational system.
Yep. Or ran to Canada or both.
But the educational system was what really started to accelerate because at that point they had the next generation under their care.
Yep. And that next generation was hard left.
There was a similar pattern in World War One. World War One, the conservative families sent their children to the killing fields.
Yeah.
As officers and as troops, where the leftists, the anarchists, and communists ducked and ran.
The
So-
ones that had a sense of duty
Yeah.
and responsibility
The conservatives.
went out and died.
And that's why one of the many reasons why Europe's in a problem is in the state they're in now is the what would have been what we would think of as conservative leaders got ground into paste at Flanders and
Yeah.
in World War One, and what filled the vacuum was anarchists and Black Hand and communists.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened in World War II. Wilson, yeah, Padre, you're right. Wilson had a lot to answer for. And it's which Wilson is the question, Edith or Woodrow?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Night of the Long Knives. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean,
The Soviets have been involved, Soviet / USSR / Russians.
we can trace some of this back to the revolution in Russia and some of this back to things like Night of the Long Knives. My thing with all of those and looking at those is that we cannot apply those as a template to the current situation in the US because it's a different culture.
Yeah.
We have a different take. That's also why I refuse to give up hope. And because yes, we're in a bad place and things are not getting better currently, except there are places where there is still hope. And he's looking at my earrings.
I just realized her earrings are a cat being abducted by a UFO. That's about to be a very distressed UFO crew. Murder mittens, activate!
One of the
And there went Cedar.
yeah, well, one of the reasons that I'm hopeful is actually the child that's annoying me. So if you hear little buzzes in the background, there's a text conversation I don't need to be part of, but yet I am. But he went from driving me up a wall. We put him in the little community college up here, rubbing elbows with a bunch of ranch kids, a bunch of guys that have done at least one tour in the military, got out, and now they're getting their degree. And it has been so good for this kid.
I'll pat myself on the back here.
Well, no, absolutely, you guys should, because I was trying to figure out what to do with him, and both of you guys were like, "This is a good place, send him there."
Community college.
Yeah, community
Or
college.
trade.
Well,
Or
we've
trade.
done community college before, but different. The one in Ohio was not this good,
Texas community colleges are a
So-
little different.
right? But this is what's giving me hope that there is this generation of kids that are my kids' age that they have their heads on straight and they are doing the work.
Well, the only issue there is most of your Texas community colleges, like VRJC,
Mhm.
you've got kids going in like yours for welding,
Yeah,
HVAC repair,
right.
Yeah.
plumbing,
Right.
associated in plumbing, and then they get out. They're gonna go make 5 to 6 figures a year,
Mhm.
and be quite happy.
Yep.
Where you got a whole bunch of folks at the big state university that are going to come out and then start working as an intern for a politician. And the kids at community college aren't going to be running the world. They're just going to be keeping the people running the world.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was about to say, though, which is the kids from the community college might not be in charge, but if your infrastructure starts to go wonky, who really is in charge suddenly?
I'm reminded
Having
of
had
an
to
article-
call in the emergency AC guy and getting a kid who graduated 8 years ago from
Yeah.
the same school my kid graduated from, and he was willing to show up the same day when the AC went out, charge me a fraction of what the big company wanted to charge me, get it done, be very down to earth and practical with his recommendations when we realized that the furnace may be brand new, but the AC is from 2008, and as he said, it's rusty.
So there was an article from some journalist. At least that's what he called himself. Pardon me while I spit.
Now there's a profession that's been
There's a profession
undermined
that's
and taken
worthwhile.
over.
But he was writing this article about how annoyed he was that his plumbing went out, and he couldn't figure it out himself, and he had to call one of those people to have them come work on his plumbing. And it was just like, oh, I don't want to have to deal with these people or have them in my house. And it's like,
Then
yeah,
don't.
you have no water.
Then don't.
It was just a moment in him showing how utterly useless he was as
Yeah.
a competent human being, and not realizing his article snarking about the plumber showed that he was just nothing.
Yeah,
was
Jesse
nothing.
says, also try to do any plumbing without understanding the differences between male and female.
Oh,
Very good point. Very good point.
if we can't define a woman, we can't. Anyway, so tab A, slot B. Oh, that's right. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't cross thread them.
Ow.
Ow.
Damn. James Lindsay's new discourse bullets from today. Pushing back against wokeism. Yeah.
James Lindsay is usually worth listening to.
Yeah, Padre. Before I involuntarily retired the second time in 2016, I got a chance to work with a lot of the young kids, primarily on the aviation side of the house. And by and large, they pretty much had their shit together. They were not happy with a number of things going on.
Well, the community college, the Texas junior colleges or community colleges now called, that I've been involved with, Amarillo College, Clarendon College, Vernon College, have by and large pretty much all been, the kids have been all from conservative families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
This is Texas, and this is country.
and, you go there to learn a trade. Granted, you might be getting an associate's degree, but let's face it, it's in a trade.
They don't assign fluff classes. I was really happy with that. I mean, he's had to take metallurgy and blueprints, but those are not fluff classes.
No, they're not. I'm here to tell you, if you want a class or a line of study that will burn out your brain, the ranch and feedlot operations at Clarendon College will burn out your brain with quickness.
But a graduate from there
can run a ranch anywhere in the U.S.
Yeah,
So-
and regardless of the size.
Winkelried talks about having seen the widespread ugly evil to have a lot of optimism about the future. The thing is, and because I graduated in 2016 with my bachelor's degree, and I was attending a fairly large university that thinks of itself as Ivy League of the Midwest, I saw a lot of that. And the other thing that I see in that department, and heck, even in my own kids, is that they don't have hope. And when you don't have hope, you don't have children. So there's a lot of kids that are choosing to not have kids, sterilize themselves, and they don't have hope for a future. So what the thing that we have to do is give them hope for a future, because that is the antithesis of woke.
Yeah.
The woke is awake to there's nothing out there. The hopelessness.
It's just a
Well,
quick, snappy nihilism. is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
I would say there is an upside too, because if they're not having kids, they're not breeding more of them.
Yes and no.
I mean, I hate to be sarcastic and say it that
you're
way.
absolutely right. But also think about child development. Children tend to pendulum away from their parents.
Eh,
And I'm seeing that too in some cases where kids of these really hyper woke are repelling back away from it towards wanting to go live simple lives out in the country rather than do the whole intellectual academic.
And then you've got all
thing.
these, what we're seeing arriving at the community colleges now are the kids, most of them military vets, with their GI Bill or Hazelwood Act.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, if you're a Texas vet, your GI Bill or your Hazelwood Act, community colleges will love you, and you'll come out of a community college with little to no debt.
Yeah.
And a set of skills that can get you diesel mechanic, HVAC repair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ranch and feedlot operations, farm and ranch management,
welding.
welding, aviation.
Yeah, Rick talks about doing a 3-year trip, 3 years ago, a road trip to Minnesota with his daughter, and there were welding shops in every town.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Every small town in Texas has got a welding shop somewhere.
There's more than one welding shop in Ichipo, and it's not that big of a city.
No.
There's more than one, trust me.
And
Yeah, I know.
every ranch that I know of, I know of, most of your cowboys are trained welders.
Yeah.
And they generally have somebody that does nothing but welding on
Mhm.
ranches.
And we need the welding for the oil fields.
Oh God, yes.
But there's so many things that the welding that he can do with welding. But had he chosen to go in there and do plumbing or HVAC, I'd have still backed him all the way because it's really good for him. I mean, it's just the groundedness of getting to work with his hands has been what's getting him through school. Because he tried the computer science thing and he was having trouble maintaining and staying engaged in the classes. And that's the other thing too that Maggie Hogarth was talking about today is she is a very bright young woman for a daughter, and she found out that her daughter's grades are not doing fantastic because the teachers are teaching the way they were taught to teach, and they're not engaging the kids at all.
One of
They
the,
don't want to engage with kids.
No, here's the thing. Her daughter is not going to a public school. She's going to a very high-end, very expensive school.
one of the aha moments, the Panhandle Regional Law Enforcement Academy that I graduated from in '93 is out of Amarillo College. And the first week, we didn't do anything at all to do with law enforcement. And one of the aha moments is when they put us through a test to show how we learned. Visual learner, audio learner, or tactile learner, and discovered that, when you take this test, you talk to somebody, you take a test, you're graded on there's a scale.
Yeah.
And it's, visual, audible, and tactile, and there's different bars. And my tactile was up, and my visual and my were just barely ticked.
Yeah.
And so I said, and I was told, I said, you need to touch things. It's like, oh, well, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations to Jesse's boy.
Yes.
He's graduating his VOTEC tonight.
Woohoo!
So awesome kid.
He didn't care about his high school graduation, but he made sure to invite Jesse to the VOTEC graduation. And Padre makes a good point. I still think we should be trading 2 years community service for 2 years of free community college. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of schools of thought on that. One of which is that if you don't pay for something, you don't value it.
Yeah.
Right,
So then
exactly.
you're just basically extending your high school diploma by 2 years.
Yeah.
So
it'll turn into your community college will turn into what high school is now.
Yeah.
Yep.
High school is just rubber stamp for
college degrees are already the new high school diploma
Right.
because jobs that should not require a college degree require a college degree. I worked with a bright young chemist, probably about 10 years younger than I am. He'd started at the chemistry lab while he was in college. They hired him. He'd been there for 5 years. He could do almost everything. And suddenly one day he got told he could no longer do the chromatography work, the gas chromatography, HPLC, because he didn't have his degree. He struggled with the academic, and he was fine in the lab. Like I said, brilliant young man. He knew what he was doing. But they stopped allowing him to do testing that he'd already been doing because he didn't have a degree.
Oh, so you did not.
Right.
Certified smart.
And that's just absolutely ridiculous.
These days, honest to God, an associate's degree in welding or metal fabrication or machining or HVAC or plumbing or general contracting is only worth more. You come out, that degree will start you at a pay that your master's degree in gender studies won't. You'll never make the money these kids start out making.
So one of the things, multiple professors wanted me to get my PhD while I was getting my BS. They're like, so what's your PhD going to be in? And I looked into it, and I'm like, I can't afford it. And they're like, well, it pays a stipend. You'd have to teach and take classes, but you could do that. And I looked into it, and the stipends were running anywhere between $30,000 and $40,000.
Yeah, for a PhD.
Yeah, I mean that's for the grad student. While I was going through grad school, I'd be paid this, and I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
I mean, my first lab job out of that was contract, but it would have worked out to about $45,000 for the year, and it's only gone up since then. But my kid will walk out of, I mean, now with just his basic certs under his belt, he would already be making more hourly than I made at that first lab job. And it's not like that was
I
20
think
years ago.
welders like 25 bucks an hour average.
Yeah.
He's already been offered jobs at like 20. So, I mean, he's a baby welder still,
Yeah.
but
Well,
Yeah.
25 bucks an hour is about what I was making as a lieutenant with 19 years experience at sheriff's office.
Yeah. And if you get nuclear certified as a welder, for example,
mhm,
you're making over $200,000 a year.
yeah.
Or hell, there are anything past his basic. So if he gets his associate's degree,
Yeah, which is his plan. I mean, just
Yeah.
right now he's
that-
got his
that'll-
basics.
yeah, that'll get him his differing medals, his
Yeah.
exotic medals.
One of the professors, he was done with all of his graded assignments and he still had, I think, a week left of classes. So they're like, keep coming in. We're going to teach you how to do aluminum welding just because
Yeah.
they were there and
Gotta
he
love
could be
community
there.
colleges.
Yeah.
I
Now,
love
Rick
community
Rick
colleges.
makes a good point, and I can vouch for this, having been on that side of the coin. Neighborhood in California was all contractors, big RVs, nice cars, etc. Really, the millionaire next door all around us back there,
Mhm.
because these are people that had the practical experience.
Yep.
And I got in a discussion this morning with somebody who will remain nameless about the difference between an academic professor and a research professor. Academic PhD, research PhD.
Okay.
Mhm.
The research PhDs actually go out in the field. The academics very seldom do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other problem is the level of knowledge. An academic PhD, because they concentrate on one thing and one thing
Right.
only,
It's very narrow.
they're, as we used to call them, they're a mile deep and an inch wide.
Okay.
Whereas a research PhD, they're 100 yards wide and a half a mile deep,
The good,
because they have to
yeah,
look at the peripherals around what they're doing
in order to make all the connections.
sometimes.
Well, and that's what I was about
Yeah.
to say, which is that like any other thing, you have good ones and you have bad ones. My advisor when I was in college, once I switched my degree to forensic science, and actually I switched the degree partly because of sitting down and talking to her, but she had worked for IBM for 25 years as an industrial chemist.
Yeah.
And then when she retired, she started as a professor and was chair of biology and chemistry at this university by the time I had her as an advisor.
Yeah.
And I mean, the first thing she did in analytical chemistry lab, and for years, because I stayed in touch with her, I would tell her that thing that she did right at the beginning of the lab was the thing I used the most in the lab. She taught us how to wash glassware.
Yeah.
It was the first thing that she did, was taught us how to make sure our glassware was actually clean.
Yeah.
Because it's so critical.
Differ says the mother fluffer just walked past the front door. Damn cat. It's a cat differ. It knows.
But a vet technician is another community college.
Those are getting a little squirrely
But that's
to get those.
surprisingly good money for a vet tech.
Yes, veterinarians make good money. It costs more to become a veterinarian than it does to become a medical doctor.
That's actually kind of funny.
And you get treated better and faster and cheaper.
I was
Probably.
talking
And
to
you know what it's all going to cost.
one of my bosses at the racing farm, and the doctor that comes by actually started out as a vet and
And
decided
he switched to doctor.
he switched to doctor. It was easier to get his doctor's
Well, that actually
It'd
makes
get-
sense.
it was easier to get his MD that was to be a vet. We have people coming in.
Yeah, the
Peanut gallery's growing.
Yeah.
veterinarians, that's a much more, because it's such a broad field, because cats are not like dogs, which are, God forbid, not like horses. And then you have to specialize within the veterinarian, whether you're a small vet or large vet, and actually there's a growing need for large animal veterinarians.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, Padre says that it's a good point. Army provides vets for the entire military, and they do that worldwide. And we have visitors, Lloyd and his lovely wife.
We have additions to the peanut gallery.
Yes.
And I was about to say something, and my squirrels dropped the glow stick.
Yeah, RK says her veterinarian brother needs one anatomy course and 1 year residency to become a human doctor.
And he would probably be good
Oh,
at it,
that's what it is.
being a human
Has,
doctor.
has
I would stay
anybody-
with a veterinarian.
Has anybody seen the Facebook meme about veterinarians and the zombie apocalypse?
Well, that's obviously when the zombie apocalypse comes, you grab a veterinarian. You need him on your crew.
Yeah. Why? Because they got all their equipment in the car. They're used to patients that bite before they're being bitten. And the funny part is there's this whole long list of why you need your veterinarian during a zombie apocalypse. And then the response is, it sounds like you thought about it. And it's a vet that's doing all this. And the vet comes back, you mean you haven't?
RK says he'd be a terrible human doctor. He's fine with cows, though.
There's a tactical trainer whose significant other is a large animal vet. And that lady is making a significant amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, wow.
It's expensive to get there, but it does pay off if you get all the way through it.
Oh, yeah. And the call outs, you know, you get called out on a ranch or a farm at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's money.
Yeah, and you're going to earn it too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Granted, you're going to earn it.
Yeah.
You're going to be arm deep in a cow
Yeah,
or
I was
a
going to
horse.
say, especially during calving season. Holy
Yeah.
gods.
I've
It's
never assisted with a cow, but I have been elbow deep in a goat. So it is not a fun place to be.
Triple the size and you got a rough
I
approximation.
wouldn't have the musculature to do it. Goat I could do. I was a
Calving
teenager.
season.
Trust
and
me, when a
foaling season.
cow clamps down on you, it gets your attention.
That's what I mean. I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't have the upper body
Give an
strength.
arm back, damn it.
Calving season and foaling season.
Yeah.
3 in the morning. I don't care what they're paying that guy. He earned it.
Brian,
Yeah.
Brian, I suspect it would be easier to ask if any of us have not read All Creatures Great and Small.
So those kind of comments with a very visual person is just not okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. I have not only read all of the All Creatures Great and Small, the Harriet books, but did you know that the British versions have stories in them that are not present
Yeah,
in the American versions?
Yes. I grew up on the British version.
Yeah.
Right. I had collected all of them because when I went over to England, I managed to get my hands on. There is a village in Wales that if you ever get the chance to go to, you really, really have to go. It's called Hay on Wye, and it's W-Y-E. It's the name of the river.
Hmm.
So Hay on Wye. And when I was there, it had 26 bookstores.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Just little tiny ones and all these little quaint cottages, and it was just amazing. We did not. Okay, you're asking about the wobbling the desk or the chairs. That would be the off-screen gentleman
Yeah.
who wiggles.
There's one of my favorite things about the 3 days we would spend in England, in London, on the way to and from the States, was there's a street. For the life of me, I cannot remember the street. There's a street in London that is nothing but bookstores.
Oh, I know
Oh.
of it, and I can't remember the name of it either.
It's the same street that Hamleys is on. Hamleys, the world's largest bookstore. Or
What's the name of the street then?
I don't know, but there's books.
Hamleys is the world's or was at the time the world's largest toy store. And we would go to Hamleys.
Booksellers Row. Booksellers Row.
Okay, now I have to ask Rick T's question since Ian can't see the.
What?
So Rick T says we are going to give you the call sign of Twitch. To which I want to know, was that your call sign?
My call sign is not repeatable in front of mixed company.
Ben says Diagon Alley.
Even better.
Oh.
I so want to know now.
Oh,
It's-
Cecil Court.
Cecil Court, Donna says.
okay.
Wow, if only
Anyway.
somebody over here had just said that 5 minutes ago.
Rita, you have such a soft voice.
Sorry.
I could make it louder.
We know.
But when you walk from Hamleys, you're walking along this cobblestone street, and you have every one of them that I remember was stepped down.
They were all basements.
You know, they're all basement, and they'll had you had the basement and the first floor, and then the living quarters, and the books that were, oh my God, there are books. There are lost tomes that are in a book somewhere for sale.
Yeah.
On Cecil Court. I swear to
Oh,
God.
and they're first editions.
Yeah, just laying there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's fantastic. It is for a bookworm. It's paradise.
I might get a chance this summer because I have an unexpected trip through Ohio.
Yeah.
I might get a chance to hit Dollar Book Swap in Dayton, Ohio, which is not nearly as cool as that, but it is still cool because it is literally a huge industrial warehouse full of books, and they're all $1, including all the antiquarian books, because the overall company sells books on Amazon, but the antiquarian stuff, unless it's like collectible for some reason, first edition, doesn't sell well on Amazon because you can't tell on Amazon how old that book is. There's a reason I'm using thrift books now for shopping for that kind of thing. But Dollar Book Swap is just, if you're ever passing through Dayton, it's just north, it's in the industrial area. You literally do not realize that you're literally walking into the back end loading area of this industrial warehouse. Shelves and shelves and shelves full of books. And
have you been to the Purple Bookstore on Denton's Courthouse Square?
yes.
Rick brings up another good one, Powell's in Portland, back before Portland was absolutely.
You know where I haven't been is McKay's in Chattanooga. I know it's there, but I've never managed to make the time during LibertyCon.
McKay's?
Huge bookstore.
Oh.
They're legends, but I haven't made it there. All right, if you haven't been there either, we may have to make a North Texas Troublemakers raid.
Pilgrimage to McKay's.
All right, folks, some of y'all are having to bail. I understand that. Have a good
few more
weekend. Be
minutes.
safe.
I have to go back and read the comments once it's all over and done with.
So if we're getting to be that time of day,
Stop it.
if we're getting to be that time of day, we should probably do announcements about upcoming releases and stuff.
Yeah.
I know you're getting there on the novel.
Yeah. Hopefully next month.
That's good output, Jim. That's really good output.
I'm behind.
But
Supposed to already be out.
But you're making forward momentum. We will
Yeah.
go with the hopeful interpretation.
You're not pulling a GRRM.
No.
At least you're not in the middle of writing it and moving.
True.
See?
Yeah, no, that's not fun.
You and Rob both.
So to repeat, Fantafly is now available in paperback, hardcover, and ebook.
Finally.
And the next release will be Postcard from Fools, because I was working on the layout of that earlier.
That's tomorrow, isn't it? No, next
Next
Friday.
week.
Next Friday.
Not tomorrow.
We can check for you.
I'm not done yet, so it can't be tomorrow. It will be next week.
After Falcons.
Yeah, the Friday after that is Falcons of Malta will be released, and
I still gotta do the foreword for that.
I know we're coming up on Pinup Noir before too long because I'm going to be working on the cover for Pinup Noir soon.
Send more pinup stories.
So, yep, it is coming. I am working on. I've just finished up the layout. It's with proof checking now. So,
When does Space Cowboys 3 close?
are we?
Shauna, when does Space Cowboys 3 close?
Okay, that's a give us a minute.
I just got Pepsi in my lungs.
So I have a question. We do this and we talk about what we have coming out and whatnot. I like to do once every week or so a promo post on my blog, and I don't want to have to chase y'all down, and I'm talking to you guys in the chat, for links to what you guys have up. So if you are on Facebook, toss a link at me there, or if you have my email, send me a link. I would appreciate it. That way I don't have to chase these things down and actually
Hang
have
on.
content.
Tell them that I'm fixing to do a.
We do have a group on Facebook called Chain Links.
Yes.
And,
you can always ask to get in that because it's a great place to be able to throw your link, and it's not gratuitous self-promo.
Decision's not made yet.
The decision has not been made yet on Space Cowboys 3.
See
So
all
if
these?
you're-
See all these?
So if you are
Decision's not made
writing,
yet.
if you are writing a story for Space Cowboys, Doug, keep writing it.
Keep writing it.
You have time.
Decisions made,
Mm-hmm.
decisions not made.
We're gonna have to sit down and fix that.
This is what we're doing this week. Is this part? So,
Okay, I have just made a post on North Texas Trollmakers Thursday promo post. Put a link in comments.
Okay, that's a good idea. We could do
Yeah.
that
maybe
too.
that. Yeah.
That
No.
that collects all the gratuitous
This-
self
This part
promotion.
is taking all of our time,
Right.
so we haven't had time for this.
Right.
So
But once we get all three of the moms of the apocalypse under one roof,
one spot.
that changes. Cowboy Tao.
so this is the problem here. That's the ones that
So.
we have to sit down and figure out.
And I would say, please, if you read it, write a review.
Yes.
Uh,
Even if it's an unkind review, we don't like those,
make more
but we
sense
understand
now?
that they come with the
We have to
territory.
figure those out
honest reviews are appreciated.
this week. Yes.
When you throw up a 1-star check, all that does is piss us off.
Yeah, and if you give us a 2-star review, we don't agree with you, we don't like it, but we do understand that that's the kind of
Yeah.
thing that
If
happens.
you give a 2-star review with constructive criticism, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So guys, just so you know, you see this there's all this stuff across the top of the ones we've been working on, right? So, and here's the ones coming that we still have to put all of our dates on. So we're doing that this week because it's all crazy
So-
sauce. Plus we have to add 2 more.
The ladies are behind the 8 ball, in other words.
We were on opposite sides of the planet for the better part of a month. but
Well,
we
that's
still
your
got
own
books
damn
out.
fault.
Scattered halfway around the world.
Literally, we were at 3 points on the planet and we still got books out.
And
Because we're just that good. So
so why are you complaining?
I'm not.
Oh, that was crunchy. Oh, that was crunchy.
And on that note, folks, I think we're going to quit so I can run.
Or ahead. Or so we can get ahead.
Yeah, I want to get a head start. Jonna, you did have a question. Yeah, were you there when it started flooding in northern Italy?
No,
No.
No, she was not.
no, I was not in that area.
And it is definitely flooding.
No, they were having a lot of big thunderstorms going through in northern Italy, but
Yeah.
I didn't get up into that area. But I missed all that.
Yeah, Brian says he's got a niece over there now. Hope she's staying dry.
Where is she?
Don't know.
I will say, everywhere I went, I brought sunshine with me, like I always do.
All right, folks.
Yeah, it's getting deep.
It's getting deep. I'm going to save the watch. Shoes are already brown. Y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. Try to stay dry if you're in Texas.
Right.
Now she's at a monastery somewhere.
That doesn't narrow it down much in
She
Italy.
is in a monastery.
Yeah,
They have visitors.
waiters. I have waiters. I just got to find them. Remember, folks, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Y'all be safe.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.